Hi and welcome. In this workshop, I am going to walk you through the mathematics analysis on the TExES Early Childhood, PK-3, 292, and show you exactly how I would write a response that passes. Let us get started. Before we dive in, I put together a free guide to this assignment for you. You can grab it from the link at the top of the description. First, let me tell you what this assignment is. You will write about 400 to 600 words. And here is what matters most. You are scored on completion, application of content, support. Keep those in mind, because everything I show you comes back to them. Now, how is it scored? A top response hits the highest level on every point you see here. So that is exactly what I am going to show you how to do. In this part, I am going to show you a sample assignment, just like what you will see on test day. I will read it to you, and then teach you how I would write a passing response. Here are the directions. Use the information in the exhibits to complete the assignment that follows. Read the assignment carefully before you begin so that you address every component and plan how you will organize your response. Budget your time so you can plan, draft, and review your response within the testing session. Your final response should be approximately 400 to 600 words, should conform to the conventions of standard English, and should be your own original work, written in your own words. Here is Exhibit 1. This is the lesson description. Take a moment to look it over, then I will show you how to use it. Here is Exhibit 2. This is the student work sample, independent practice. Take a moment to look it over, then I will show you how to use it. Here is Exhibit 3. This is the excerpt of conversation. Take a moment to look it over, then I will show you how to use it. And here is what you are asked to do. Using your knowledge of mathematics content and pedagogy, write a response of approximately 400 to 600 words in which you complete the following. 1. Describe one area of academic need that PRIA demonstrates related to the foundational mathematics skill or objective specified in the lesson description. 2. Identify and describe a developmentally appropriate, effective instructional strategy or intervention to address PRIA's identified need in the mathematics skill or objective. 3. Explain why this instructional strategy or intervention would be effective, using sound reasoning and knowledge of foundational mathematics skills. 4. Describe a developmentally appropriate method of informal assessment to effectively monitor PRIA's progress toward the identified skill or objective. 5. Describe one cross-curricular activity that could be integrated into the curriculum to support the learning or extension of the identified foundational mathematics skill or objective. So how do you earn that top score? Answer every part of the task. Name the professional concept. Do not just give an opinion. Back up each point with specific evidence from the materials, and keep it within the length. Now watch how I would write it. PRIA's work reveals a significant gap in her understanding of place value, which is the foundation for the regrouping the lesson objective requires. In Problem 1, she treats the ones and tens columns as two separate, unrelated sums, recording the 15 ones as a standalone amount rather than trading 10 of those ones for a single 10. Her base 10 drawing supports this diagnosis because she never bundles 10 cubes into a rod. In Problem 2, she applies a common subtraction bug, always taking the smaller digit from the larger regardless of position. So she computes 8 minus 2 instead of regrouping to subtract 28 from 52. Both errors trace to the same need. PRIA does not yet understand that a two-digit number is composed of groups of 10 and leftover ones, and that these groups can be traded across places. An effective, developmentally appropriate intervention is to move PRIA through a concrete representational abstract sequence using base 10 blocks on a two-column place value mat. In a small group, she would build each add-in with rods and cubes, physically combine the ones, and, when she reaches 10 or more, trade 10 cubes for one rod and move it to the tens column while narrating the action. For subtraction, she would build the larger number, then break a rod into 10 cubes when there are not enough ones to remove, again describing the trade aloud. Only after she can act out and explain the trade would the teacher connect each move to the written algorithm. This strategy is effective because it directly targets the conceptual root of PRIA's misconception rather than the surface procedure. A 7-year-old typically reasons best when abstract symbols are anchored to objects she can manipulate. So physically bundling 10 ones into one 10 makes the otherwise invisible idea of regrouping concrete and memorable. Trading blocks also disrupts her digit-by-digit habits, because she can see that 15 ones cannot remain in the ones place, and that you cannot simply reverse a subtraction. Narrating each trade builds the mathematical language and reasoning the TExES process standards expect, and pairing the actions with the written steps helps her transfer meaning to the standard notation. To monitor progress informally, the teacher could use brief, structured observation during small group work paired with anecdotal notes. As Priya solves 2 or 3 new problems on the place value mat, the teacher records whether she recognizes when a trade is needed, executes it correctly, and explains why. A short exit ticket with 1 addition and 1 subtraction problem that require regrouping, solved with a required base 10 drawing, would provide a quick record of whether the concept is transferring to paper. These low-stakes checks reveal her thinking, not just her answer, and guide the next day's grouping. A cross-curricular activity that extends this skill is a classroom store integrated into a social studies unit on community and goods and services. Priya and her classmates would use play coins and bills, bundling 10 pennies to exchange for a dime and grouping items in tens for the shelves. Making purchases and giving change requires repeated composing and decomposing of tens and ones in an authentic context. This connects the mathematics to how communities exchange goods, reinforces place value through play, and gives Priya meaningful, motivating practice with regrouping beyond the mathematics block. Now, let us go back over my constructed response, and let me highlight exactly why this response would receive a passing score. Notice how I open by naming the exact gap, place value understanding, and tying it immediately to the lesson objective of regrouping, which answers task 1 in the very first sentence. I then pull specific evidence from both student work samples, naming what Priya drew and what computation error she made, so the reader sees concrete proof rather than a vague claim. The final sentence synthesizes both errors into a single root cause, using precise language that signals deep content knowledge and earns points on the application of content dimension. Notice how I open with the strategy named Concrete Representational Abstract Sequence, which immediately signals pedagogical expertise and answers task 2 directly. I walk through the small group implementation step by step, build, combine, trade, narrate, so the reader can picture a real classroom rather than an abstract idea. The closing sentence about connecting block moves to the written algorithm shows I understand CRA as a bridge to standard notation, not a replacement for it, which strengthens the application of content score. Notice how I pivot from what the strategy is to why it works, which directly answers task 3, and the phrase conceptual root versus surface procedure signals that I understand the difference between procedural fluency and conceptual understanding. I anchor the reasoning in child development with the specific age reference, tying the intervention to what we know about how young learners build meaning, which satisfies the support criterion. Citing TExES process standards by name elevates this from generic rationale to TExES-specific professional knowledge, which matters for this particular certification exam. Notice how I name 2 distinct, specific assessment tools, structured observation with anecdotal notes and an exit ticket, rather than speaking in vague generalities, which answers task 4 with enough detail to be actionable in a real classroom. I describe exactly what the teacher watches for, whether Priya recognizes the need for a trade, executes it, and can explain it, covering both procedural and conceptual dimensions in a single observation cycle. The closing sentence about revealing thinking rather than just answers shows a principled understanding of what informal assessment is actually for, connecting back to the support criterion. Notice how the opening sentence names both the cross-curricular activity and its anchor subject area, social studies, specifically community and goods and services, which answers task 5 directly and satisfies the completion criterion. I make the mathematical mechanism explicit right away, bundling 10 pennies for a dime and composing tens on the shelves, so the reader sees that the play context genuinely requires place value reasoning and is not just thematically cute. The closing sentence loops back to regrouping, and to student motivation, grounding the choice in the early childhood principle that authentic, meaningful contexts accelerate conceptual learning. And that is it. You can absolutely do this. When you are ready to practice with instant feedback, head to TeacherPreps.com.